Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just
Just
the
the
two
two
of
of
us.
us.
It's you
Just
and
the
I.
two of us. Isn't did I miss something? Yeah,
Oh man,
that's our new quick dive
that's the
intro
new intro. Just the
for
two of
for
us.
2022. Just when it's just two of us for sure.
It's
So yeah,
because it's just me and
yeah,
you holding it down right now, man.
yeah. It's just me, Skywalker Mike, and my
It's
best
your
friend
boy
over
Narik.
here.
That's cool. Yeah.
Damn, straight Jay-Z.
it's,
But yeah,
it's your boy.
we're missing our third Ace Sincere. He
Yes.
he is doing some other things that are very I guess need his attention is what I was trying to get at. So yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll just be two of us today. So I mean it's a quick dive anyways. I know I've seen some people ask me about when we're gonna do the quick dive, so
All
or
right.
us in our
Here it
page. So
is.
here it is. We're doing our Hawkeye full season
Mm-hmm.
recap, reactions, breakdown, pretty much everything is all going to be compiled in this one, hopefully 30-minute episode.
We're gonna try and keep it quick with our quick dives. First of all, I just want to say that we appreciate all of y'all for listening. Happy
Hmm.
New Year. Thank you for just rocking with us, and we want to shout out Productive Culture for always producing our podcast. And if you want to start a podcast in 2022, you should definitely hit up Productive Culture
Oh
backslash
yeah,
podcast. Tell them that the Soundflick boys sent you. The Soundflick
it's
the
time.
Soundflick duo,
It is time to
because
start your podcast.
yes, that is true.
It
That
is
is true.
time. It is 2022. You need to
Absolutely.
start your podcast.
You need
So,
to start your podcast, and you also need to keep
because
listening to
then,
ours and
because
tell your
if
friends about ours.
yes, that too. Because if you don't start your podcast, somebody else will,
Ooh.
and they're gonna do it to Productive Culture.
Yep.
Yep.
That's right. That's
So
right.
do
And
it
also,
first.
shout out Sincere. We will miss
Yeah.
you during this episode,
We love you.
but
He'll be back pretty
yes, he
soon.
will. Yes, he
He'll be
will
back
in
pretty
full
soon.
form.
Full
But
form.
man, let's do it, bro. Let's talk about this Hawkeye season
Yeah.
that we got.
Season. Yeah, I think it's going to be the only season. That's my speculation. They have
Mm-hmm.
another show coming out with a character that was in Hawkeye
Mm-hmm.
called Echo, which we'll probably talk about a little bit more. But the season, all in all, was just obviously Christmas themed. So
Yeah.
it really kept you up in your holiday spirits every week, just waiting for another episode to drop. And then, we kind of get the last episode right before Christmas. So
Yeah.
it's a cool little Christmas present that Marvel gave us. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very family friendly. Has a good amount of comic relief
Mm-hmm.
and some good action, from two regular non superpower superheroes.
Did this show put you in the Christmas spirit?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Mostly from the music. There was a lot
Music
of
was fire.
Christmas music, obviously, even in the background of the scene or just playing over the
Mhm.
show or the outro credits. I forget which episode it was. I think it was the one with Wilson Fisk when they
Mhm.
revealed him in the little in the phone.
Mhm.
After in the end credit scene, I think they played the Grinch.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, and yeah, it made me want to play the Grinch song on the way to work. I don't know why. It just
They
did.
got you. Yeah, they got you on that. All
Yeah.
right. Now, it did make me feel a little Christmassy. I liked how they did this. Every show, there's a special element to it, and I
Mhm.
think what this show was that, unlike um WandaVision or Loki or What If or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it took place in real time in 6 days. And when I realized, or when I found out that that was going to be the case, I think I came to you and I was like, I think this show is going to be better binged
Yeah,
than
and it
waiting
is.
every week,
Yeah,
because since you're waiting every week just for another day for them, it felt kind of weird. But then upon rewatching the
yeah,
show and I just watched it straight through, it was like I was watching a Hawkeye movie, and that
Yeah,
was
legit.
that made it better. You know, definitely
Uh-huh.
made it a lot better.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it's an easy binge, you know, you can I think it's like 4 or 5 hours. I mean, obviously, if you have 4 or 5 hours or you wanna break it up throughout the day.
I mean, people
Um,
binge longer, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
they'll
that's
find a
true,
show
that's
that
very
has, like,
true.
10 episodes, and they'll binge that, so this is only 6, so it's
Yeah,
definitely binge
under an
worthy.
hour episodes. I
Yeah,
don't think there was, like, one in any hour episodes, so it was pretty cool. I don't think this
yeah,
show needed that length of, episodes, really, so it was perfect, I think, lengthwise, and, you know, the characters were really cool. I like, the introduction of Kate Bishop, played
yes,
by Haley Steinfeld.
yes,
She's
this
really
is
cool.
a and she's been casted as even rumored and kind of confirmed casted as Kate Bishop for a little while. Like I think
Mhm.
even before WandaVision came out, when they announced these shows, Haley Steinfeld was attached to Hawkeye
Yeah,
as
okay.
playing Kate Bishop. So for
That's
it to be
cool.
the last show,
Interesting.
you know, a lot of people were waiting for this iteration, and I think she absolutely nailed it,
Yeah.
as Kate Bishop. Like, just the personality, the you know, just kind of like the nice in between of this confidence,
Mhm.
but still like this naivety to, you know, naivete, if they wanna do it like that, to just, like, what's going on in her world, you know, with, like, her mom being involved with Kingpin and, like, you know, all this
Sheesh.
underground stuff that's
That's so
going on,
crazy.
but, like but she's also pretty real too. So, I thought that, that she was just the perfect cast, you know, it's like
Mhm.
you can't pick anybody else to play Kate Bishop in
No.
this day and age, and, so I was really happy with her portrayal.
Yeah, great chemistry too with, Clint Barton, just acting wise, just with, Jeremy Renner, it was really good, and I've seen interviews with them together, and he just seems like a real uncle. Like,
Yeah.
he just super just jokes all the time, just clueless to technology, just like, "I don't know, what is that? Just can you do it for me?" type thing, you know? So, he just really is his character. He's really just playing Jeremy Renner when he plays Hawkeye.
Mhm.
So, it's pretty cool. I mean, I think Jeremy Renner's always been Jeremy Renner in all his roles.
Yeah, it's, you know, when you try and find the humanity of a character, um, you know, I like how they this is something that, like, has been the underlying layer, I think, with Hawkeye and the Avengers, is that he's the only, like,
Mm.
non-super powered, like, guy, you know, Black Widow's, you know,
Black Widow.
non-super powered also, but he's, like, the only non-powers out of the original, you know, out of the original Avengers, and him having to just use his bow and arrow to make it
So good. He's
happen,
good at it.
you
He's
know,
just so
it's
good at
like
it.
in the comics, you don't really think about it because you think his superpower is really, like, his ultimate aim, right? Which arguably, yeah, it is, but you know, Marvel's so good at humanizing their characters that they were like, why don't we just hone in on the fact that what makes a hero isn't your superpower?
Yeah.
Obviously, because Hawkeye has the courage and the heroism to make it all come together. And I think that they really highlighted that in Avengers Age of Ultron
Mhm.
with him being like the glue for the team, and then him like bringing Wanda and making her into an Avenger, and having the farmhouse and everything like that.
Yeah.
And um, so I thought that, that was just dope. Like it was just a natural evolution for his character. Is that like over time he's getting beat up
He's
and
deaf, or
he's
partially deaf, hard of hearing.
yeah, I like that explanation too because I was wondering how they were gonna incorporate that, and it was just kinda like, this dude's been on so many missions, been around so many
Yeah.
explosions that it was
Yeah,
bound to
I forget,
happen.
I think it was Kate, she's like, "How did that happen?" He's like, I can't really remember," and then they show the montage of
I thought
literally
that was
everything he's
brilliant.
been through, you know?
Yeah, it was
Like,
brilliant to connect that.
for him to get beat up that many times and still
Mhm,
be where he is now, so that's pretty cool. He's come a long way. He has come a long way, you know, like, you mentioned all the movies, and then even down to the most recent movie that he was in, Endgame, which we
mhm,
get flashbacks of, and callbacks to, especially with his trauma when he's watching the Rogers musical, he's like, "I
Mhm.
was there," like, people are really just, like, throwing pretty much, like, flowers over this, like, it was like, "Oh, this is how it happened, it was all planned
Yeah,
out,
well,
like,
they
it
just
was
made it
perfect."
they just made it like it was fun and games, like,
Yeah,
it's a like, you're gonna tell me this in a musical? Like,
yeah,
Hulk, you know the magic word is? Like, come on, fam, come
and they
on.
had
And
Ant-Man in there.
yeah, he was looking at this thing like the disrespect, like, just the
Yeah,
absolute disrespect,
and
but
then
at the
seeing,
you know?
Natasha's
Yeah,
character.
and seeing Natasha, exactly, that brought back that trauma, so, I think it's dope that, like, his kids are on board, like, his kids
Yeah.
know what's good. I think that's probably, like, one of the coolest things ever.
They're like, "You're not coming home for Christmas? Alright, well, we understand. Don't worry, Dad."
Yeah, and his wife is down. His wife is super
Yeah.
down, and she's like,
Well,
"Okay, this is what he does." So, like, you
there's
know
one thing that we did find out in
yeah,
Hawkeye.
we didn't know.
Yeah,
We
we
didn't
never
know. I
knew,
was
but his wife was a part of SHIELD at one point, and makes sense, that's how they met, I'm pretty sure he didn't just I mean, he coulda just met her off the street or a supermarket or something,
I mean,
but
I think that that's one of the most important parts, honestly, like, as a comic book fan, I was wondering if they were gonna do this, and they kind of, like, alluded to it by having her get a little bit more involved with, like,
Mhm,
his story, but she is a character called Mockingbird,
mhm.
Agent 13,
I've
and
heard this.
that is just that's dope. I mean, what it does though, unfortunately, is that there was a Mockingbird in um, Agents of Shield, and she was
That's
play.
hardly canon though, isn't it?
Well, it's not really canon, but it kind of like this now confirms that like it's for real, not canon. Which
Okay.
it sucks because you had I can't think of his name right now.
Coulson.
Yeah, you had Coulson, and it's
Yeah.
like that that's the Coulson from the Avengers. Like
Well, obviously. Even in the
obviously,
first episode, they're like, "I survived getting
exactly.
killed,"
And
so
it's just like the multiverse just wasn't around at that time. If they did it
Mhm.
now, it would make sense, but because they did it back then, like I don't know, they're gonna have a hard time kind of
No.
retconning that, and I feel like they're gonna
Uh,
just, you got to charge it
yes.
to the game.
Yes. One thing I did wanna bring up was the intro to episode 1
Oh man.
when we hear Kate Bishop's parents arguing over, some business matters, and Kate Bishop is trying to pretty much eavesdrop, and, her dad goes and talks to her, and you really see the connection that she has with her dad. And she's asking him like, "Hey, if what would you do in a hurricane?" And he's like, "Well, I would always protect you first, type of
Mhm,
thing." So
mhm,
you see how much they have love for each other and how much they really, enjoy each other's time and love
mhm,
and stuff like that. So
mhm.
a little bit later, it's pretty much during the right before the attack of New York.
Which was so dope to see that
From
perspective.
that angle,
Oh,
yes.
man, it was
I didn't
great.
think we'd ever see anything like that from there.
That's, like, the coolest part, like, they've been referencing the Battle of New York a lot and showing us, like, the different point of
Mhm.
views of it, and then the blip. I'm looking forward to them referencing, like, other stuff. Like,
Mhm.
give me
The
give
Eternals?
me well, like, just give me, like, a random one. Yeah, like well, yeah, for sure, like the
Yeah.
Eternals, you had a whole celestial come out
Just
of the ground, like, give me that take of your thought process, or, like, show me something from, like, Age of Ultron with, like, Ultron
Mhm.
taking over the internet, like, give me something like that, that would've been cool if all of a sudden and then we're just talking future stuff, but, like, if you just see somebody, like, I don't know, somebody's story starting out with them, like, on a computer, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
Ultron's face pops up. It's like, "Oh, snap." Like, this takes
Yeah.
place during that
Yeah,
time.
no.
That would be
There's
really dope.
just there's just so much that can be done, like, it's just starting to, like it's literally like the multiverse where it's just starting to break off each time,
Yeah.
and some things are more major than others, obviously,
Yeah.
that's why they have the shows and the movies now.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see that, but in that episode, we definitely see why Kate Bishop is so attracted to wanting to be this hero, and it's
Mhm.
because Clint literally saved her from being killed by Chitauri
Yeah.
by blowing one up, and then she sees him rappel down the building, and it looks like a really cool entrance from the outside, he
Yeah.
breaks through, but we already know how the landing actually went.
Which is
And
also
yeah, so
cool because, like, we see what it looks like, and we know what it looked like
yeah.
afterwards, so, like, that's dope. But
Yeah,
it was really
it's
convincing
fun.
for me. I was like, "Okay, if I saw that as a kid, I'd want to be that too." Like, that would change my
Mhm,
whole life, so I like that that was her motivation, um, and how that
mhm.
carried. I thought that that was great. It was really good promise for the beginning uh, of this show.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and then later we see Kate Bishop, still being into archery and, just doing trick shots with her friends and stuff
Mhm.
and ruining buildings and, it's a regular teenage stuff, you know what I'm talking about, Enrique.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, she's just like you said, just pretty much like a teen, going through things and trying to be cool, but at the same time trying to become a superhero because that's what she's always wanted. She just always wanted to protect her mom because that's what she promised her after her dad died. It's like I have to protect you, which is a weird thing that a kid has to say.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it's really interesting, like, how they had the mother-daughter dynamic because the mom is like, "I need to protect you," and she runs Bishop Security and, like, she's kinda involved with some people that aren't the best, and she's trying to navigate through that. But the whole show is about fatherhood,
Mhm.
for all of the characters. It's like Kate Bishop lost her father. She has Hawkeye, who's a father figure.
And then her
She's dealing
stepdad,
she's
Jack
dealing
the
with
Tank,
Jack, who wants to be a father figure for her, but is dealing with that. She has an issue with her mother. Then you
and then we
have
got Wilson
Echo.
Fisk.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You have Echo. She lost her father. And then you have like Wilson Fisk being like a father figure. And you have, even Hawkeye's trying to be a father for his own kids and
yeah.
family, like not even just for Kate Bishop. And it just has this revolving theme around fatherhood that I thought was explored really well without centering the show on that. Like,
Mhm.
because um arguably, it's not like that was the point.
Yeah.
It just was the trigger for a lot of the movement in the show, and I thought that that was really clever for them to do.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of things that Kate and, Hawkeye get into that are really, things that I guess you wouldn't really expect, like the trick arrow car chase scene. It's probably, like, one of my favorite episodes.
You thought that was that was unexpected?
I guess just, like, the trick arrows, you know? I mean, I know they're in the comics, but I didn't know how they were going to actually, um, convert it to the
Mhm.
actual show, and then seeing stuff like the Pym Tech arrow,
Yeah, that was dope.
which we've seen before, which we have seen before. I mean, I never
No,
thought we'd ever
we
see it
haven't seen
again.
the Pym Tech arrow. We've seen Pym on the arrow
Or,
that
Ant-Man.
That
Mhm.
Hawkeye is
I thought
shot,
it was
but
a arrow, Pym Tech arrow, but
this is the first time that we saw it. That's why it had that significance because we've been waiting for that because we've
yeah, there
seen
was actually a few
so it's
Ant-Man
dope.
references like that,
Yeah,
Pym Tech, and then Ant-Man in the streets and then in the Rogers musical,
yeah.
so I
Which
guess
my theory for that is that someone saw him in the Battle of New York when they went back in time.
oh,
So
that's funny.
now it makes it so that he's involved now, and I think that that was them showing us that like the multiverse is like it's messed up because
Mhm,
what happened back there is now it's now part of the past,
mm,
which is the future.
yeah.
It's crazy,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah. There's also rumors that originally not rumors, but it was confirmed at the time, originally Ant-Man was supposed to be a part of the original Avengers, so it's kinda also like a
Yes.
poke at
Mhm.
that,
Yeah.
but it could be either or sound good to me.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, more any Ant-Man, addition is welcome. I think
Mhm.
Ant-Man needs to intertwine a little bit more. That's kind of what I'm looking for. From this show was very contained and it had all kinds of opportunity to intertwine a little bit more. We I love the addition of Yelena,
Yeah.
Natasha's sister being there and we all kind of expected that. It was rumored that she was filming for Hawkeye, and
I actually forgot.
that
So watching the show, I was like, "Oh yeah!" Like when she was revealed, I was like,
nice,
"I forgot she was gonna be in the show."
nice, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I was
it was.
never looking for her, so that's a good thing.
The reveal was great. Again,
Mhm.
going comic accurate. I think that that's the running theme for
Hawkeye.
no, not just for Hawkeye, but for Marvel going forward, is that everything's going to be comic accurate at one point or another. They're going
I
to
feel like
throw
this
this
one
suit.
was pretty comic accurate. I would see like other people's recaps and stuff, and people are like, "This is literally scene for scene." We'll have like the car chase scene.
Yeah,
It's literally like how it happened, except they're driving a different car.
yeah.
Just little things tweaked. I think we've talked about it too.
Hmm.
Just the story is the same, just like tiny things are tweaked so it fits the show better. You know, it adds comic relief, it adds character, and
Of course.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was great. The only thing is I didn't. I'm still. I feel like Marvel hasn't really like while they're establishing these heroes, they haven't really covered the villains correctly yet. Because
Yeah,
from at the end
I
credit scene
agree.
that we see from Contessa, DeFontaine, um, Val,
Mhm.
where she introduces Yelena to a picture of Ronan, as Hawkeye or as Clint, and sees that he is alive. It makes it seem like that she sends Yelena to go and kill him. But then in this show, it was like, oh, Eleanor, was the one that
Yeah,
that got her through Kingpin, and it kind of defeats a little bit of the purpose of like that background villainy that I think is
yeah,
going on. That I wish that they would just start showing us a little bit more hints on, but they're not, and it's like, okay, well, is Kingpin
yeah,
working with Val? Is Kingpin working with the Power Broker? How are all of these things in the background connected? And I'm
yeah,
waiting for them to show that.
yeah. That's true. That there isn't enough like what's actually going on. It's still very like mysterious and just has a weird
It's like,
like.
here's this event, but it's not talking about what's going on that's causing this event to even be significant.
Yeah, and there's been talks of, rumors about Thunderbolts and stuff like that, or even, Dark Avengers. So, yeah, I mean, I wish we can already see some of it. The underworld, I guess you could say. I
Mhm.
mean, we've even gotten, in Falcon and the Winter Soldier when they went to the
Madripoor.
Madripoor, stuff like
Mhm,
we got a glimpse of it, but we didn't really see too much of it, and
mhm.
it would be nice to see more of that, like you said. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
How'd you,
Um
what'd you think of Echo?
I liked Echo. The way they introed her made it seem way more like, I guess more scary. Like she would actually just kill you on sight.
Yeah.
But she seemed pretty understanding. She seemed pretty calm. Like she
Mhm.
can control her emotions, and she was really. I liked her fighting.
Yeah.
I just want to see what more because they did say that her powers were like she can mimic other people perfectly without
Yeah, she had, like,
kind of like.
photo reflex or something like that is
Yeah,
what it's called.
kinda like the Taskmaster, but pretty much just natural. Because the
Mhm,
Taskmaster had to get programmed to remember people's moves, and,
mhm.
Echo can do it naturally, and I didn't really see that displayed well. It just seemed like she was just a good fighter, but
Yeah.
I didn't see her actually manipulate or
Yep.
try to, copy exactly the fighting
Mhm,
styles that she was
mhm.
doing, so and a lot of times she did kinda get beat up, so.
No, I agree with that for sure. Hopefully, they explore that in her show, and this was
Mhm.
kind of like an intro of, like, her trying to get even better, but they could have definitely done that, given us a little bit more of her perspective during the fight so that we can
Mhm.
get an idea of, like, how she's using her ability.
Yeah, because for the most part, she was just kinda like a disruptor in the show,
Mhm.
just she just
Yeah.
kinda came in and,
No, the
wasn't
tracksuit bros were the
the
disruptors.
bro, I love Imagine Dragons, bro.
So we went to go see Maroon 5.
I
Uh
want to thank you. We talked it out. We went to go see Maroon 5 instead. Those guys were comedy, though.
I loved it. I loved it.
Where
I
they were
thought that they were
like
great.
the Run DMC classic tracksuit,
Them tracksuits
uh,
were hard. I
tracksuit
guarantee
guys.
tracksuits go up in sales.
Oh,
Guarantee.
yeah, I mean, even after,
That
Squid
and Squid
Games
Game.
too,
Yep.
yeah, for sure.
I wonder
They're
if
I
they
think
knew if they all got their tracksuits from the same place.
probably. Yeah, it was funny, those guys were really funny, they added, like, there was comic relief other than them, but they
Yeah.
were, like, the main comic relief, like, as soon as you heard "Bro," like, they would
Yeah.
call everybody "Bro," they would
Yeah.
call Kate Bishop "Bro,"
It was awesome.
um,
All the
yeah,
bros were
that's just
perfectly placed. It was never there was never a wasted bro.
or there was a "Kate Bishop is bro, dude," or something like that. That one got me. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was like,
it's
okay. Yeah, so they were
crazy.
really cool. I don't know if we'll ever see them again.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll see them in Echo, actually.
Yeah.
If
I
that
hope
makes sense.
yeah, I think so. Because Kazi was the main guy, and he
Yeah,
plays, a villain called the
Kazi.
Clown. Um,
You think he's still alive? He
yeah, I think he is. I think he's gonna show up in the Echo show.
Yeah. I don't feel like Echo wanted to kill him, just
Mhm.
kinda just wound him so that he doesn't get up and follow her,
Yeah.
because she was going to do something that he knew that you shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Just go, just
yeah,
run,
you
just
can't
leave.
come
He's
back
gonna
from
be looking
this.
for you. Yeah,
Yeah, you
pretty
can't come
much.
back from this, and it's gonna be a problem, and, it was really interesting how they did Kingpin. Um,
Shout
they
out, shout out, Vincent
Vincent
D'Onofrio.
yes, Vincent D'Onofrio, best kept secret. This was possibly the highlight of the show, is the confirmation, around the same time that, Spider-Man: No Way Home came out, that
Spider-Man.
the Daredevil Netflix series is canon in the MCU, and that's just really awesome because now you can watch the series. You can see that it takes
Yeah,
place, right after the Avengers, and
yeah,
it's just really cool to have that be the case, and for both Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio D'Onofrio, sorry, to reprise their
yeah.
roles.
It's pretty cool because, I think the last episode of Hawkeye came out, and then Spider-Man came out the same week
Mhm,
because Hawkeye drops on Wednesday, and then the movies drop on Fridays. And we got Wilson Fisk, and then in Spider-Man, we got, Charlie Cox as, Daredevil. Well, not as Daredevil, but as,
as a lawyer,
what's
a
his as a
really good
lawyer.
lawyer.
What's his name again? What's his Daredevil's
Matt
real
Matt
name?
Matt
Matt
Murdock.
Murdock. There you go. And we got
Murdock.
Matt Murdock. So it's pretty cool, and they're both in New York, so it's kind of like, okay, there's already something probably brewing that we don't see. We'll probably see more of it in Echo, but
Mhm,
it's pretty cool because just the way the timelines are. Even in Hawkeye,
mhm,
we hear Yelena talking about the the remodeled Statue of Liberty,
mhm.
which we don't get to see in Hawkeye. But then when Spider-Man comes out, we see the rebuilding of the Statue of Liberty, pretty much just getting the shield put on it, and then obviously we see all of that get destroyed by the Spider-Man and
Yeah.
the villains, the Sinister
Which
Six.
which I really hope that, Captain America mentions, is like,
Yeah,
he was about to get like he was like, "Man, my shield was about to be on there," and then Tom Tom came and
yeah,
messed it up.
yeah. And then at the end of Spider-Man, we see him swinging
The
in the snow
Rockefeller
because it's
Center.
Chris. We see the Rockefeller tree, and
Mhm,
it's Christmas time at the end of the movie. And then in Hawkeye, it's Christmas time, but the tree is still up.
mhm.
So, pretty much Spider-Man was swinging around
They were like a
New
day
York.
yeah, it was like a day
Yeah,
difference, day or 2
yeah.
difference, yeah.
So, I mean, I thought that was just a really cool detail. It doesn't mean anything probably, it's just
Mhm.
showing you that they're in the same universe, which
I've
I they're good at. They're really good at that.
I've always wished, like, it just because you see a character doesn't mean that they have to interact. And I
Mhm.
would just love for one moment when they're shooting something in New York, just show me a swing. Just show me a guy just swinging in the background. Just so that like you don't have to notice him, but like just
Yeah.
showing that it's happening in real time would be so dope. I wish that
Yeah,
they
I
would do
agree
that.
with you. I agree with you. It can happen more often,
It's just
and
a
like,
CGI. It's just a
pretty
render.
much pretty much like Spider-Man fighting his villain, and then Echo over here is fighting
Yeah.
her villain. It's like, oh damn, well you finished what you're doing. I'm doing this. So here,
It
they don't like you said they don't have to
it
interact.
would be great. It would be great. And like think about like Spider-Man doesn't even spend too much time with like street level like people. So if one of those
Mhm.
tracksuit bros was like running, all of a sudden he just gets webbed up. Like Spider-Man doesn't need to interact with him. He saw what he was doing and just he
Yeah,
keeps it pushing. So like
yeah,
it would have been dope.
yeah, yeah. No, the show was really fun.
Mhm.
I really, really enjoyed it.
What do you
Is
rate
there
it?
anything else that we should cover?
I mean, we lightly touched on everything. I definitely want to just kind of hone in on a couple stuff. I want to get like
Mhm.
your opinion on just the show overall. Where some of the characters, where do you think it goes from here? And then I'll kind of talk about that
Yeah.
also.
No, yeah, I definitely think there like I said, there's only one season of Hawkeye,
Hmm.
but I think technically the season 2 will be Echo. I
Hmm.
think we will be seeing Kate Bishop again in Echo and maybe even some Hawkeye in Echo, mostly because of Wilson Fisk, and Echo now knows where Clint Barton and his family is. Even though she said, "Don't ever come looking for us," I think she has a change of heart now, and maybe if Wilson Fisk comes back, which I do think he will, he looks like he got shot in the face or in the head, but
He caught
um,
the blammer to the dome.
I mean, you saw him eat that arrow.
He did. He did
You
eat the
saw
arrow
him.
like it
You
was
see
nothing.
him get.
He ate
You
the
see him.
explosion, fam.
You
Like,
saw him. He got air fried
yeah,
for sure, and he got up by
yeah.
himself. Nobody came to help him. He got
Nah,
up and said, I gotta go back to my
suit was still
lair."
low key fresh.
Yeah, yeah. There's some like Kingpin doesn't have superpowers, but they kind of allude
No,
that
he's
he
he's super.
does or
He's
something.
super.
Something super about
It's
him.
well, the thing
Super
is
villainy
so
for
it's
sure.
so in the comics, he's described as being like he has like less than like 2% fat or something like that. Like it's something stupid. So like even though he looks like a fat dude, it's all muscle. And so
Mm,
he just like is indestructible in that kind of way, like and just has a crazy strength.
yeah,
And I thought that they showed that well. Um, but I don't think people were really prepared for how campy it was
no.
kind of gonna be.
With
And
the shirt, with the Hawaiian
yeah,
shirt that he was wearing.
even though that's comic accurate,
Yeah,
I think people were so used to a sinister,
the Daredevil,
yeah, and
Fisk.
like
Yeah,
they weren't used for the hybrid. And then when I watched it again, because I knew it was coming, I appreciated
yeah.
the hybrid.
I liked it.
I was like, "Okay, cool." Like,
Just like
I dig it.
one button unbutton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
that was
thought it
cool.
was dope. I think that I'm with you in Echo being a Hawkeye sequel. I think that Kate Bishop, if they do a second season of Hawkeye itself, it'll just be Kate Bishop
Yeah, that's
um
true. That's very true.
as Hawkeye. Um and I think that her mom is gonna become a villain. And I
Even
loved
more.
yeah, even more. And I
Oh
loved
wow.
the twist with Jack because he played a character we didn't really talk about his character, but he played a character called Swordsman,
Yeah.
and Swordsman is a mentor in the comics for Hawkeye and teaches him, a lot of his sword techniques that Hawkeye uses, and a lot of people
I
don't know.
guess technically it
So
still could happen, right?
kind of, yeah. I feel like
Because there's a new Hawkeye,
there's a new
and
Hawkeye, and he's gonna kind of teach her better techniques with the sword,
yeah.
other than just the bow and arrow. I think that that's going to be the difference is that because she wore the Ronin costume, she's going to honor Hawkeye for everything that he is. So she's going
Mm,
to take up sword fighting
yeah.
and
Yeah, and
and
she's already
exactly.
been in, fencing and stuff. She
Exactly.
fought him,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, you're really good." He was funny.
Yeah, he
I
was
liked
funny.
Jack Duquesne a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and then Armand the 7th,
Yeah.
the
All the
little kid.
Armands. Yeah.
Although
No,
that's
I
a lot
thought it
of
was great.
Armands.
I loved he was slicing people up though. He was killing people. Like
Mhm. Oh,
he
yeah,
was for
no.
sure killing people.
That was pretty cool
Yeah.
actually seeing him in action,
Yeah.
and he had a sword on him for some reason, even though he was just accused of murder.
Because he's fire like that. He's fire. he turned from like the guy, the suspect, to who you were rooting for now.
Yeah. Yeah, he
So
seemed very suspect, but then he was also just like expendable, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. One more thing that I wanted to bring up was the just Kate Bishop versus all the villains, you know,
Hmm.
seeing her versus Yelena,
Oh, that was great.
obviously probably not a villain anymore, and
I
then
love their
seeing
interaction,
seeing Kate Bishop versus Wilson Fisk,
which
you
was
know.
very unexpected.
Yeah, no, that one was cool. It really brought back like memories to when we Daredevil, pretty much just seeing Daredevil versus Wilson Fisk.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
that was
it
cool.
like, but
And
that
then the
that fight was crazy.
and then the snap with the cuffling. The cuffling was a nice touch. I was
Yes, it
like,
was.
okay,
That was.
nice.
That
They
was.
they they included the cuffling, just a little detail, you know, like it
Yeah,
really like people. I don't think people would have complained. Oh, I didn't see a cuffling anywhere, but
yeah.
just because it was included and it was Wilson Fisk, it was a cool little
Mhm.
callback
Well, it's a
from what
huge
we're used to.
it's a huge emotional tie, and I think that's the beauty of Wilson Fisk is that they kept that. Like his all of his emotional baggage is still with him in the MCU,
Mhm.
like how it was in Daredevil, and that's really all you need. And I think the same thing with Daredevil, which we kind of saw is like as long as Daredevil has that like the core things that turned him into Daredevil, it doesn't matter if he's lighter or stronger or like
Yeah.
campier or whatever, it's still gonna work.
Mhm. Agreed.
So
Agreed. But yeah, no,
I'm
a
with it.
very fun show. Um, would love to hear what you listeners think of the show.
Yeah,
It was definitely I wouldn't say it was the best show, but it was very fun. They really had fun with it. I think not everything has to be so serious all the time,
mhm,
especially something that's like kind of Christmas themed, you know. So just have fun with it. You know, I think they should do that a little bit more. I think we got a lot that we weren't really
expecting.
expecting. Like
Mm,
I said, we got Echo, we got Wilson Fisk, we got Yelena, which was kind of expected, but still really cool to see her interact with all the characters, and
mhm,
she was funny. She was really funny as well. So
yeah,
I give the show a 7 and out of 10, and
mhm, mhm.
that's my
It's
rating right there.
assessment. Yeah, for me, I thought that, it was a strong showing for Kate Bishop. Um, I think Hawkeye did what he needed to do, you know? I would have loved to have seen him in the original costume at some point
Mm,
or show or that being shown. That would have been
yeah,
dope. Um, love the addition of Wilson Fisk. I was very hyped over it. The rendition of him, it grew on me. At first, though, I was very, very pissed. So that kind of lowered the score
yeah.
of the show for me. Um,
I'm glad they kept Vincent D'Onofrio and didn't go another way.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Echo, Echo was a little underwhelming for me.
Mhm.
Um,
Agreed.
the tracksuit mafia guys were hilarious. I thought that was great. Again, it's a great bingeable show, but waiting every week for the episodes didn't give me enough to make me really excited about the next week. I just knew that I had to get through the show. Um, and
Yeah.
I feel like that some of the writing, though, I understand the campiness and the lightheartedness of it, some of the writing could have been better. Love the Christmas songs though, love the Christmas theme. Again, I don't know. I think I just kind of had a little bit more expectation for it than what we actually got.
Yeah, that's
So I
understandable.
I give it a 6. It's a 6 out of 10 for me. It's definitely the weakest of all
The
the Disney
shows,
Plus
yes.
shows that have come out. But that's okay. I think it served its purpose, and Marvel. I'm just looking forward to what continues on.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, and that was our quick dive 17?
17, 17.
17.
Yes.
Yes, 17. And it's nice, like I said, if you guys want to talk more about it, definitely hit us up. We'd love to still talk about it. You know, there's probably some things we couldn't fit into this episode, but that's pretty much it's a short season. It's pretty quick. So if you
Yep.
did see it, if you didn't see it, whatever, go watch it and come talk to us. And Yeah. And
Yep.
shout out, we forgot to mention Lucky the pizza dog, the one-eyed
Hey.
dog.
Yes.
Pretty cool. Hopefully we see more of him
Yes.
actually crime fighting, or maybe not. I don't know.
Who knows?
We'll
Who
see.
knows? No,
Alrighty,
we
y'all.
appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. And just remember, like Rogers the Musical, we can do this all day. So we appreciate you
I can
guys.
do
And
this all day. Yeah, I didn't expect that.
I was gonna say, take us out, Skywalker. Let's
I
go.
don't. I didn't expect that end credit scene, but like I said, not everything has to be serious. So that
Yes.
was really cool. And the song is on all platforms if you want to bump that in your car. I did it once just because I wanted to laugh,
All right,
and it's
guys.
a good song.
It is. It is indeed.
Peace.
Everybody, take care. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.